Hello and welcome everyone to another episode. Yes. So, I'm gonna say this right now because this looks surprisingly familiar other than the second stage here. Yeah, this is basically almost the exact same part that I used for the Kerbal Space Station. This is one of the Hab modules that is going to the Moon Space Station. Now, some of you might be wondering exactly why I'm reusing an old module, because usually I always change things up, but the more I looked at it and the more I tried to make something that was different, it really just didn't work out the way I wanted to. And I don't mean to say that like I couldn't build something new. I just thought this was the best looking module to put on there as far as what I was looking for in a space station. Even if I were to change and build something differently, it still would be almost the exact same design, and it had all the features that I really wanted in a module to add on to the space station. So, you know, it's got all the RCS fuel I could need. You know, I kind of put these on here more for aesthetics, but, you know, it's got xenon, it's got everything. I don't really need xenon on a space station. I mean, it just, you know, I don't really need any of that stuff, but I just thought this is the best looking module. It's got its own solar panels set up. It's got basically a little bit of everything set up in it. So there really isn't any, to me, there really isn't any point in trying to change up that module and really try to do something unbelievably different when it already works very well. So let's just flip this thing over here. There we go. I'm having a little bit of problems here. So a lot has happened in the last let's see here, how many months has it been? 10 months. 10 months of doing this. It's been crazy. That's all I can say. Ooh, this is not looking well. Not looking good at all. I really gotta slow this down. But yeah, 10 months of doing this. I can't believe it, because I mean, I remember doing some of my first episodes, and you know, if you guys go back and look at some of my old episodes, you can see I've come pretty far in this game. I mean, even then, when I first started recording, I was a pretty big noob. I didn't even know how to really do a lot of things as far as video editing, playing this game, and, you know, basically everything else. And these two parts aren't connected up either. That's not good. It's not really going to affect the design much, but it really is kind of rocking around a lot. I don't like that. So, 10 months of doing this, and what have I learned? Number one, making good videos definitely is a hard thing to do. And, you know, for all the videos I've done, there's been a lot of them that, you know, they didn't fare so well over time. And not that I'm looking for the most amount of views, or that I really, you know, want to be some like huge YouTube, you know, personality like some of the other people are that play this game and everything else, because I'm just having fun playing this, and, you know, just for having somebody, you know, give me tips or say, hey, you know, you're doing some cool stuff or whatever, it's just good enough for me. And, you know, for me to hit 800 subscribers, and to really, you know, to me, honestly, it's kind of one of those things that, like, I just never thought would happen. Kind of like me making videos for YouTube. I never really thought I would do something like that. I just, you know, in concerning myself with the politics of YouTube, and, you know, the people are amazing. So, you know, for those of you who are looking to do videos as well, I mean, give it a shot. What's the worst that can happen? I just really did a bad burn there. Whatever. Not paying attention so much. I'm not really too concerned with fuel as it is, but I've met some of the coolest people and some of the most the funniest people, and just really some amazing people that like to do awesome things in this game. I've talked to a few of the bigger personalities, and I've gotten some tips, and they've talked to me about certain things, and to me, I just never thought that kind of stuff would happen, and nor would I even think about contacting them without anything other than saying, you do amazing things in this game, or you do some amazing videos, or something like that. But to me, it's just it's a phenomenal thing. I just think it's amazing. I never thought I'd grow this much, or at least do as much as I have in this game, as well as just playing. For me, I always been gaming online, and I just never really bothered with any kind of stuff like this. I just didn't care. I watched the videos with Kurt J. Mack and C-Nanners and Yogscast, and just never really thought I'd ever do something like that. I mean, I kind of thought about it with Minecraft, and if you guys notice, I have like 2 videos that are really old, and that's like when I was like, okay, well, I'll just give this a shot. And at that time, I had like the crappiest mic. I think I was using a headset microphone, and the quality on it was horrible, and just it was all kinds of horrible, the video and everything else. And I didn't know how to render. I used like Windows Movie Maker and just all kinds of stuff. It's kind of like back in the, oh my god, what's going on here? This thing just jumped like crazy. Let's see. Wow, we're like golden on fuel. Ooh, I'll throttle back a little bit here. I'm just doing the bird a little bit ahead of time because we don't really have powerful engines, but I'm beginning to think that was not really that great of an idea. I'll just knock this down a little bit more. There we go. I put nuclear engines on this thing because I was like, oh yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to, I'll probably be a little bit short on fuel. I usually don't test out my designs with, to see if everything's going to work with, the amount of fuel. I usually just launch something and see if I can make it to orbit. As long as I make it to orbit, I'm pretty much like, okay, well, I'll be able to do this. So... but yeah, it's definitely has been a big trip, big ride, and I am looking forward to doing this longer. I mean, I really don't know when I'm going to stop. I just been having fun doing this, and, just talking to you guys, and getting comments, and I love reading comments. I love responding back to comments. I love just talking to you guys about it, and you guys throwing me ideas, or just saying like, oh, that's amazing what you did there, or whatever. Just been fun stuff. That just overall been amazingly fun, and I really couldn't give you an honest answer on a lot of things, but I've learned a lot, basically, as far as making episodes and making quality episodes and trying to improve my episodes. And I've always been kind of like trying to improve on what I've done before and try to make something a little bit better, a little bit stronger, a little bit faster. It's just kind of the way it always works. I mean, certain things over the time I've been doing this have worked, and certain things haven't, but you always gotta try. And I mean, I've had people already tell me, not only just on YouTube, but on other forums and stuff like that, not Kerbal Space Program forums, at least not yet, other forums and things like that, like, why do you waste your time? Why do you even do this? Nobody cares. I've had a couple of my friends, a few different people that I know, basically say the exact same thing, like, oh, why do you even bother? Well, who cares? You're not really doing anything that great. And they don't play the game, obviously, but some of them do. And I don't really care so much about that. Like, there's a lot of narcissistic people out there that are gonna say stuff like that, and you always got to be prepared for that. It is the internet. I mean, we're not talking serious business here, so like, I just don't even care for the most part. Most people want to watch you fail and then just laugh about it and really, laugh about the fact that you took what they said to heart. Like, it doesn't affect me. It really isn't that big of a deal. And, that's just kind of like one of those things a lot of people just can't get over it. And like internet trolls and stuff like that don't bother me in any kind of way. So it's just funny stuff to me mostly. But like I said, doing this stuff, it has been definitely challenging. That's the one thing I will say, is because doing new designs, definitely switching up what I do on this channel and trying to figure out better ways of doing the exact same thing, or doing something easier, or making it easier on myself, or learning docking. And I'm not even saying learning docking was a hard thing, but it was at one point. Docking was pretty much one of the hardest things for me to accomplish in this game. And once I was like fairly confident that I knew how to dock, then basically that's when, I really started doing my videos. Docking to me was like one of the last things to master. I knew how to land on the moon, but docking I couldn't do. And then I eventually mastered that. So it really wasn't that big of a deal. But the one thing I should say, I keep on saying that along with everything else, is I do gotta thank you guys for watching. It's pretty much, like I said, and I've always said this before, I'll say it again, if you guys didn't watch, I wouldn't even bother. So that kind of comes down to the main thing. I do enjoy doing this, but at the same time, if I got little to no views on my videos and nobody cared whatsoever, then I probably wouldn't have even gotten this far. So the more that you guys have done for me has made me want to do more. So that's kind of the way it goes. It generally with me, and the way I always see it is like, if you're always going to be sincere and always do whatever it is that you're doing, then you're going to get pretty far compared to people who just want to do whatever it is because there's some kind of underlying cause of doing it, some kind of underlying reason that they're really doing it. And if you just want to do it because you want to have fun, whatever it is, then I think that's kind of like your best way of to just do something. And the more that I've like focused on this stuff, with Kerbal Space Program, and the more I've always wanted to help the community and do a lot for the community as well. I mean, as far as like trying to help people and show people how to do things that they otherwise couldn't do. I mean, that's like my tutorials is kind of speaks for that by itself. I never really had to do tutorials in the first place, and explaining how to do something was kind of hard, especially for somebody like me who generally whenever I'm like asked to explain something, I always get overly technical about it, and sometimes I'll skip a step and then I'll remind you like 10 minutes later that, oh yeah, you had to do, I'll give you like A, B, and D, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot, you have to do C too. So, which I have been thinking about redoing my tutorials. I mean, I'm not 100% about that one, but otherwise I've been thinking about making advanced tutorials where I do the exact same thing, but I explain it a lot more and a lot further. I also was considering doing something based on Delta V to explain it to a lot of people who really don't understand it, like I didn't really understand it a while ago. So let's turn on the SAS here. There we go. Push us a little bit closer. I'm trying to get a bearing on where we're at right now, and if we gotta take some of these solar panels down. I think we do. I don't know why I just did that, but okay. There we go. And I gotta bump this over. There we go. We're getting pretty close now. I'm not too concerned, but I just want to get this thing really close. But, you know, I was thinking about explaining, like, delta V and stuff like that to people who really don't understand what it means, what it is, and how to use it to build rockets, or at least use it to understand, basically, if a design is going to work and with its intended function. I mean, one of the things I did do, and I was talking about it a long time ago, is I ended up setting up like an Excel spreadsheet with a lot, basically, of almost, at that point in time, all the parts in the game. Right now, it's like completely outdated. But at that time, I had all the parts in the game, and you could calculate out your delta V with it to a certain extent. It was pretty accurate. I didn't add all the parts, but I had basically almost everything except for like one or two, like basically like some of the aerodynamic stuff I didn't have, and some of the structure stuff I didn't have in there either. I just didn't bother. But that is one thing that I'm considering on redoing, and just having, you know, repackaging it and setting it back up again, changing everything, and seeing if I can set it up in a way that will actually help a lot of people. That's kind of my main thing, is I would rather you guys understand what you're doing a little bit than have no idea what you're doing, other than, okay, well, I'm going to get this to the moon, and I'm just going to have to figure out, keep building a bigger rocket until it works. I mean, that was basically, in the beginning of the game, that's basically how I used to play. Okay, well, this isn't working, build something bigger. Get something bigger into space. Just keep doing that over and over and over again. Alright, this thing is like upside down or something. I don't know what's going on. But, you know, I've been working on a lot of things, and if I do start working on this Excel spreadsheet thing, it might take me a while to even get it set up again the way it used to be. I do have the old copy, and I did receive a good amount of help from people like Kerbal Space Program forums, because at that time I didn't understand the equations 100%. Some of them, not the delta V calculations, but some of the other stuff, like calculating your overall ISP if you have separate engines and stuff like that. And there's a lot of work involved, a lot of math involved in this whole space thing. It's crazy. Who would have thought, huh? Alright, let's see. I think this is pretty well lined up. I'm pretty much okay with the way it is right now. Just bring that down. We're moving away a little bit. It's not that bad, but just bring this over. Still line it up a little bit better. There we go. Yeah, there's a lot of maths in this whole space thing. Who would have thought? Now, is the space station moving? Because that's kind of weird. I don't know if it's me that's moving or the space station that's moving. Yeah. I'm probably going to end up getting all OCD like I normally do, and fixing this module and making it all like perfectly lined up. But this is as good as we're going to get right now for this episode, at least. Trying to. Wow. Alright, come on, come down. But yeah, so the Joule Explorer itself, the one thing I think I should explain about that too is I didn't want to build that thing because initially I didn't really want to get back into the interplanetary ships, and the main reason is because of, you know, basically all the process I went through in the last couple days, or, you know, all the videos you guys saw of me doing that. You know, it's like 6 or 7 videos just to get the thing built, and it took me about 5 or 6 launches and it was just a constant. It's just a constant, steady stream of work that is just way too much at times. You end up just getting overwhelmed with the amount of stuff you're doing. Now this thing isn't perfectly lined up. I think I'm just gonna fix it real quick. It isn't gonna take much. So let's see. This thing's just a little bit over, like that. I think that looks fine. Let's see. Just if I line up the engine here, I think the engine's like perfectly lined up with this. So just turn on the SAS too. That will help lock us on a little bit better. But yeah, building that thing and like all the other ones I built in the past, just lots of work. Just lots and lots and lots of work. It doesn't... It's really weird, but when you actually call playing Kerbal Space Program your job, almost, that's when it comes down to it just being a lot of work, basically. You know, it's like my friends are like texting me to go to the bar, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm working right now. And they're just like, you're playing Kerbal Space Program instead of going out to the bar. I'm like, yep, I got too much stuff to do. But this thing is looking pretty awesome so far. There's going to be another one here. I'm going to add a module going down. I have a docking port thing set up too. I got a few things set up with this thing, but it's, you know, overall it's looking pretty awesome right now. I mean, it really is in its infancy, and I really haven't done a lot with it yet. So if you don't like this one, definitely check out the Kerbal Space Station, because that one's amazing for those of you who are new to this channel. And this is like my ghetto fairing here. That's like kind of the best thing I could come up with. So I'll get rid of that. And we're completely undocked. I forgot to refuel these. Whatever. So let's have some fun and crash this thing in the moon real quick, because I think we can do that. Possibly. Oh, I don't even think we have anybody on the station yet. Yeah, we don't. So let's get this thing crashed into the... Okay, battery's dead. So we can't crash it into the moon. But, you know, anyways, guys, you know, thank you guys for watching. Once again, always, the Joule Explorer will be leaving very soon. I just wanted to get out a few episodes before I really start recording and doing a lot of editing and stuff like that with that episode, because it's going to take me a while. There's going to be a lot of footage that I need to cut out, and there's going to be a lot of footage that is going to have to be altered and changed and everything else. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching. If you like what you see here, subscribe. There's always more to come. To all you new people, welcome. And yeah, I will see you next time.